listen, my name is Cheeky Sport Dave. I'm joined by the one and only Mr. Gareth A. Davis. We're at Manchester Central Convention Centre, ahead of the Usyk Bellew weigh-in. Yes, there are many Mancunians in attendance, aren't there, Gareth?
And Liverpudlians,
and
of course.
Liverpudlians as well.
It's a big Northwest fight, this, for Tony Bellew, making his swan song in the headline event against Oleksandr Usyk. This brilliant, slick, southpaw, 6'3" fighter who squeezes it all into 200 pounds, who's undefeated as a professional. It's the biggest fight that Tony Bellew would ever have in his career. All 4 cruiserweight belts on the line, David, and the Ring Magazine belt. It's been a brilliant build-up this week. There's been none of the shenanigans that Tony Bellew normally brings. He came masked to the press conference yesterday.
Masked up and gloved up as well.
But you know what? He took the mask off and the gloves were off before they kind of played some games with us.
They did.
A little bit all week. At the workouts, they were sticking their heads behind when we were interviewing the other. It's all been very jovial, but when they strip off today, we'll see the fire in their eyes when they go bare-chested, face-to-face.
Absolutely. Right behind us, David Diamante's out there. Just get in the room ready for what's about to take place. Should we switch room for a minute? Yeah. Let's leave it to David for a second.
Okay, let's do that.
Undisputed championship of the world in the modern 3 and 4 belt era, taking place here on British soil. Oleksandr Usyk, Tony Bellew at the top of the card. But again, as we've seen from Matchroom time and time again, incredible cards from top to bottom, and this one is no different. 8 fights on the card, 3 title fights, and at this time, we're going to go ahead and do the undercard weigh-in. So ladies and gentlemen, bringing up to the stage for our first clash, it's an incredible cruiserweight clash. We call it a Nixonil. Both guys are undefeated. First incredible test for both young gentlemen. And on the line, it'll be 10 rounds for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Championship. Introducing first up to the stage, fighting out of London, ladies and gentlemen, Richard Riakporhe. 3-time London ABA Novice Champion, and he won the Haringey Box Cup. 7-0, 6 knockouts.
Look who's turned up as well. Look who's also
Dillian White's here with him, giving him his support. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, what's great about this is they're 2 young fighters who are both really ambitious. Sam Nowhere to Hide coming out, as I say, from the Joe Gallagher camp in Bolton. He's been with him for over a year now. Got about 15 fights. I think he's 14-1, but this is a really good fight for these 2 cruiserweights.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. And like you said, they're under some great tutelage, both of them.
They are.
Richard Riakporhe underneath the stewardship of the same trainer as the good old Dillian White, Mr. Mark Tibbs.
Exactly. Mark Tibbs with Richard Riakporhe looking in fantastic shape, as he always does. An Adonis physique, squeezing that, of course, into 200 pounds in weight. He's a good 6'4.5". He's a fantastic athlete. What's great about these 2 men, of course, both undefeated, both meeting very early in their careers, in what we always call a crossroads fight earlier in their career.
Look at the face.
Yeah.
Listen, he is ready, absolutely ready
great.
for it. And this is a very tight fight, isn't it?
It is. Well, it's all about Richard Riakporhe's length and ability. He's got long arms, a very long reach, quite mobile, a lot of power, and you see the stocky, tattooed frame of the man who says there is nowhere to hide, and there will be nowhere to hide for Riakporhe tomorrow night, 30 hours from now, because Hyde is going to come and let his hands go, and it's about, it could be who lands first wins this fight, Dave.
You think so?
Could well be.
Is it a knockout? Is this a knockout fight?
I think this fight is going to end in a knockout. You got the odds on this?
I am scrolling and searching for the odds right now as we speak.
It's hard to separate these 2. Riakporhe's look very devastating with his power, and Hyde's slowly developed as a professional, but looks very promising as well.
Absolutely. Sam Hyde's in at 13-8, and Richard Riakporhe is in at 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, look at you can see the different physiques. The taller, leaner, longer man against the very stocky, powerful Sam Hyde. A lot of respect there, as you can see. The 2 men not getting nose to nose here. It could well be the fight of the night, this.
Absolutely.
These 2 are going to lay down and deliver.
Keeping some good distance, keeping some real good distance between each other right there. I guess, you know, right behind us, this video bombed a second ago was a former cruiserweight champion.
A brilliant former cruiserweight.
Absolutely.
You know, you look at the size of Johnny, and he was a big cruiserweight back in the day. You know, Evander Holyfield, of course, was a cruiserweight. And these guys, Johnny never went up to, he tried heavyweight, but it didn't work for him. He was stuck in the middle of the divisions. You know, you look at the size of someone like David Hay and moved up to heavyweight. Tony Bellew, of course, moved up to heavyweight. But the cruiserweight division is there for those little heavyweights. They're not little men anymore, because remember, they're boiling down 20 pounds during camp.
Absolutely.
You know, they're the weight that Muhammad Ali used to fight at naturally.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Muhammad Ali at his peak was probably about 215 pounds. 6'3", so he's the size of an Oleksandr Usyk today, a Richard Riakporhe.
Absolutely.
The Doncaster de la Hoya. Please welcome the White Rhino, David.
The Doncaster de la Hoya, Mr. Knockout Specialist. The guy has fallen in love with the game once again.
Yeah, he has, and he's ambitious again. After that brilliant knockout of Nick Webb on the undercards of Dillian Whyte and Joseph Parker, of course, back there at the O2 Arena just a few months back. He's fallen in love with the game again, as you say. He's a real character, and he's up against this chap, Ariel Esteban Bracamonte from Argentina.
Absolutely. Now, guys, there's some updated odds on the Riakporhe fight as well. Sam Hyde is at 7-4, and Richard Riakporhe is at 4-9.
Look, I think Dave Allen's going to do there and do his hustling, bustling, the White Rhino thing. He's going to come and attack. Here he comes in now. He'll get a huge cheer. Become a very popular.
316
there you go.
Coming out with the famous, the very, very famous Stone Cold 316.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's big, he's bold, he's beautiful, and he's going to deliver on Saturday night.
Look, it is out there in the odd socks as well, mate.
He's very deceptive, you know, because he's so stocky. You go up close to him, and he's actually a very big man, because he looks like he's carrying too much weight, but he's, you know, he's 6'2.5". He's actually, when you get up there, he's a bit like an international, the size of an international front row forward in rugby.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's that kind of build.
It's that kind of build.
Very powerful upper body, very powerful legs. I bet he bench presses more than you can in all your daily in all your 4 visits to the gym.
Listen, I go to the gym about 9 times a day.
Tell him.
I'm hiding it right now underneath this jacket.
Tell him.
You see what I'm saying? The chest game is very, very strong. You don't want to listen. I had to lock it up. I had to close it up in this place because I didn't want to end up on the stage myself. But it ain't about me. It's about what's going on right now. Obviously, right behind me, they're squaring up to each other. I'll let you guys know what the odds are of that. Dave Allen's in as an overwhelming favorite as 1-50. Ariel Esteban Bracamonte is in at 12-1. Absolute favourite, stellar favourite in there. 1-50.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Eddie Hearn is building. He's such a popular fighter now. Eddie Hearn is really building Dave Allen as one of those popular undercard fighter. He sells tickets. He's a kind of exciting fighter who's going to deliver when he gets into the ring. He wants to be an exciting fighter, as we saw, as I said, against Nick Webb on the undercard of the Dillian Whyte and Joseph Parker fight.
Absolutely. Now, guys, for those of you who are just joining us, we're here live and direct in Manchester ahead of the Usyk Bellew unified undisputed cruiserweight showdown. The first time a unified undisputed fight is happening on these shores. It's unprecedented, it's history breaking, and it's absolutely incredible. But before these two get on the stage, we're having a weigh-in of absolutely every fighter on the undercard. But before we even roll out to the next fighter, we've got a video for them, haven't we?
Well, we've spent a bit of time with Bellew and Usyk this week, and Usyk was fascinating when he sat down with us this week. He was great fun. We looked into those wild eyes of his.
We did.
And he had a few things to tell us, Dave, didn't he?
He absolutely did.
Huge weekend here in Manchester with the Manchester Derby, of course, the Christmas market.
Well, here we are, the bomber himself, Tony Bellew, looking sleek, lithe, lean, and as Oleksandr Usyk said, he's got that funny look in his eyes, like he means business. How did you take that from him today?
What he said? Oh, I don't know. I try and make out what he said. He understands far better than he's letting on. He's clever. Got a beautiful set of wheels on, and them trainers were nice. He's great, mate. He's fantastic. I have no bad words to say about him. I'm a fan of Oleksandr Usyk, and I would never usually say that so close to the fight, Gareth, but he is what he is, mate. He's formidable, isn't he? So I've got it all to do Saturday night. But Saturday night, mate, he learns how to lose.
Do you know what? You look... We got used to you as a heavyweight, but do you know what? You look fantastic as a cruiserweight, you know?
My friend said that to me today. He said, you know what, Ant? He said, and he calls me Anthony, knows me really. It's not Tony Bellew persona with him. So he said to me, considering what you've lost, I come down from 17 stone, he said, you look fantastic. That just lets me know I was carrying an awful lot of flab on my ass and my stomach. That's all that lets me know. So I'm in great shape. I've got a decent set of abs on me. I've got a couple of chest muscles. Yes. I looked in the mirror this morning and I tensed and I said, who are you? Where did you come from? So it is what it is. They won't last long. They'll be gone by Sunday.
The Adonis David Hay will be proud of the physique.
Mate, listen, I can never compete with that, man. Jesus. I wish I could borrow David's body for just 24 hours and I would make great use of it, but it is what it is, mate. I'm never going to be that Adonis type physique with aesthetically beautiful, but I'm in good shape. For a normal man, which I am, I'm in phenomenal shape. The most important thing is I'm fit to fight 20 rounds, not 12. I'm fit to fight 20 rounds, and that means 12 rounds at an electric pace if need be. I don't think that's what's going to be the case, but if we need to test someone's will for 12 rounds here, I'm more than prepared. If this comes down to a battle of wills, you're in for possibly one of the greatest fights that's ever happened on these shows. If it comes down to that, if he likes to keep this as a boxing match and wants to stay out of range, then you're in for a really good chess match. But at some stage, he's gonna have to engage me. He has to. He cannot run from me, because I am not gonna stand there like this. Hit me 6 times. I'm just going to block them. Now I'm going to hit you back. You block the same. I'm going to jump on you. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable. And I'm going to do things in there to you that you're not going to like.
So you've been watching the reruns of that last 30 seconds or 40 seconds of the Ilunga Makabu fights in the last few weeks or not?
I'm not even going to lie. I should say no, but you know what? I was in bed last night and I got home quite late after all the media stuff and things, and I was sitting in the bed and she's asleep next to me, and I watched it. And when I watched it, I caught the clip at the end. I forgot what it was on Sky Sports last night anyway. Caught the end of it, and I just thought, wow, it actually really did happen. And then it ends up bringing you to tears when I see my little boy in the ring, and that's what breaks me heart the most. Seeing my little boy, I should never have had him there, but for the rest of his life, he's always going to remember the night his dad won the world title. I was there, Goodison Park, and he's so small on that picture.
I think he sat with you up on the dais, didn't he, that night as well?
That night, I think he was only 10 years old, and what happened is he come in the ring after it, and he's 13 now, so at 10 years old he's quite small. He's only up to me chest height here. Right now, today, he's 6 foot. He's 13 years old, and he's a size 10 shoe. The little whippet is huge.
But you want him to be a brain surgeon or something, don't you?
Mate, my missus wants him to be a surgeon, so she said she can keep her young. That's what she says.
That's right.
So I just want him to be. I just want him to be happy. I don't care. I don't expect my kids to be brains of Britain. They weren't passed on the greatest brains, in all honesty. But I just want them to be happy. I love them, mate, more than life itself. I really do.
Absolutely. Well, today, 48 hours before the fight, you got to stare into his eyes. What did you see?
The monster that everybody fears he has. Mate, he's got a screw loose, but I know he sees the same when he looks in my eyes. I'm someone who just, I don't know, we look at each other and there's an immense amount of respect there, but at the same time, Eddie was right what he said. We go to war, mate. Before peace, there must be war. And in my mind, there will never be peace. Because my mind is a fighting mind. I am a fighting man, mate. Like Tupac said, there will never be peace. So, Saturday night, maybe we get to it. And it's going to be... there's so many ways I can envision this fight going. If it goes the way I genuinely believe it's going to go, there's A, B, and C. Plan A, it comes down to a test of wills after 6 rounds, and then we find out who wants it. If that way happens, I'm not looking forward to it, but it's going to be pain, it's going to be blood, it's going to be brutal, it's going to be amazing to watch. If it's scenario B, bit of a chess match, he chooses to run. Might not be the best spectacle, but when I finally do catch up with him, it will be brutal.
You need to be patient in that instance, don't you? Probably.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I cannot afford to just give this man anything. If you give this man a millisecond of unconcentration, you will pay. Just one. You only need to have a lapse of unconcentration for 1 second, and this guy hits you with 6 punches. He just rattles 6 punches off, your head rattles round, that's what he does. At no point in this fight will this man hit me and go, that will not happen. I will attack. Every time he throws more than 2 punches, I will sling 1 bazooka back. And believe you me, I only need 1 bazooka to land. I know he doesn't really believe that yet, but he's going to realise that on Saturday night. He really is.
Hey, listen, and we're back in the room.
You know he's not going to give him anything. You know Tony Bellew is a massive kickboxing and an MMA fan. He gives it that all the time as well. Yeah, just getting the ropes ready. Just stay back.
Just getting
stay
the
back,
ropes
people.
ready.
I'm not happy today, yeah? Anyway, Josh Kelly's coming on stage now, you know that?
He is.
Yeah.
Listen,
Josh Kelly and Walter Castillo.
Tell him a little bit more about it. Yeah, tell him a bit more about him.
Josh Kelly's a very, very talented fighter from the Adam Booth training stable.
The Dark
Walter
Lord.
Castillo coming in now.
The Dark Lord Adam Booth.
The Dark Lord Adam Booth. We've had a lot of fun with this week. Very talented fighter. He's very, very much his own style. Hands hung low, moves very well, very powerful, very aggressive fighter. And Booth thinks great things of him. They just don't want to rush him too much. He's 7-0 at the moment. I think he'll school this guy Castillo tomorrow night because he doesn't have a lot of power. But you know, I've really loved being around Oleksandr Usyk this week.
Listen, he's been fantastic. He's been
great with us.
He's been fantastic.
He started off with monosyllabic answers, giving that funny look in his eyes like this, like us, you know, like this. But you know what? He mellowed out, and we kind of became friends with Usyk this week, didn't we?
We absolutely.
Should we hear from him?
Yeah, we should. Let's hear some words from.
Let's hear some words from Oleksandr Usyk. Well, there's some serious envy from Tony Bellew. Not about the belts today, but about the trainers.
The kicks are special.
Lots of compliments about Oleksandr Usyk's trainers today. He's really dressed for the occasion. Look, we've got to ask you first of all, you two went eye to eye just today. What are you thinking when you saw him?
Сегодня вы смотрели друг другу в глаза. Что ты думал, когда смотрел? Что ты увидел там?
Ничего, его глаза.
Listen to the champ. You have to listen. He talks too much. Listen to the champ. 2-1.
Oh, it's a 2-1.
Это ничего я не увидел. Я увидел там только глаза, и я хотел побыстрее отдать пояса, чтобы их положили в сумку и уйти.
I didn't see too much things over there, just the eyes. I was looking and I was thinking of how to load down my belts as soon as possible because they are too heavy, and just to go back to my room.
It's funny, I've got to ask this question.
Yeah.
I mean, you and he are both playing with each other. We are used to Tony being very aggressive, being very insulting to opponents. There's been none of that from him in this week. He's very respectful towards you. Is it unusual for you to see Bellew like this? Were you expecting him to try and get under your skin?
Мы не привыкли видеть Тони Беллью таким. Вы постоянно играете друг с другом, улыбаетесь. Мы знаем Тони Беллью как очень агрессивного и серьезно настроенного относительно своих оппонентов. Думаешь ли ты, что это часть плана? Пытается ли он таким образом залезть тебе в душу?
Он не сможет туда залезть, потому что там место занято. То, что он говорит лестные слова, это, наверное, часть его плана, это однозначно. Но я на это не ведусь, мне это не нужно.
He will not be able to come to my heart. It's occupied already. When he says some pleasant words, I suggest that could be a part of his plan, but I'm not with it, definitely not.
Он просто знает, что я чуть-чуть сумасшедший, чем он.
He knows I'm a bit more crazier than he is.
I love it. Well, earlier on during the press conference, you said that Tony Bellew is your biggest challenger to date, your biggest adversary. What is it about him that makes him your most dangerous opponent that you faced?
Ты сегодня на пресс-конференции сказал, что Тони Беллью самый опасный твой оппонент на сегодняшний день. Что его делает таким?
Вот посмотрите на меня. Я же спокойный, уравновешенный парень. А он точно такой же, только не спокойный и не уравновешенный.
Look at me. I'm a calm, regular person. And look at him. He is not calm. He is not a regular person.
Mate, listen, you can't mess with Oleksandr, mate. No. You can't mess with Oleksandr.
What's funny is I think he's very aware, even though Tony Bellew's played it cool this week and had fun and games with him, been very respectful, he's quite aware that Bellew could be over his shoulder anytime. And as Bellew proved there, it's 2-1, mate.
It's 2-1,
If he can make it 2-1 tomorrow night or in about 30 hours' time, it's going to be an extraordinary achievement. It will be one of the greatest achievements by a British boxer in a single event ever. There's no question about it, because this guy Usyk is one of the best talents we've seen in many, many, many a year. And, you know, all the tools, all the styles to make fights, and the styles suit Usyk in this fight. But if Tony Bellew can take his opportunities, if he truly believes, if he can genuinely land those heavy shots and get on top of Usyk, he could cause one of the great, great upsets on these shores.
Without a shadow of a doubt. But the reality is, Usyk also knows that in Tony Bellew he has a worthy adversary, a worthy opponent, I should put it, because he said he's his most difficult, most dangerous opponent that he's ever faced. Why is that? What about Tony Bellew to Usyk? Because obviously the odds are wildly in Usyk's favour, and correctly so. But what is it about Tony Bellew that makes him a dangerous opponent for Mr. Oleksandr?
Exactly the same things that Tony says when he looks into Oleksandr Usyk's eyes, that there's a kind of, he calls it a screw loose. So what he means is genuine self-belief, genuine confidence in his abilities in the ring. What Usyk has confidence in is he's such a brilliant boxer, mover, great work rate, all those kind of things. Never been defeated as a professional, you know, won everything could win as an amateur, brilliantly schooled. He's come out of a Ukrainian system that produced the Klitschko's, Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko, has produced Vasily Lomachenko and Oleksandr Usyk, who are both in the top 5 in the world at the moment, as people barge past us here. Boom! Barge past us. Boom!
Yeah, they're lucky they didn't go in front, or they'll be
yeah, come back and you'll get some more. No, but as I was saying, that this Ukrainian system has created these great champions. He's got the confidence in his boxing ability. Tony Bellew has got deep confidence in that he's been the underdog and won so many times. Twice against David Haye, once against Alumba Makabu. People have written him off forever, but he's always been able to come back.
Absolutely. Who have we got up there on the stage
we've got
right now?
Scotty Cardle and the champ. The 3-weight world champion, the only Scottish 3-weight world champion in Ricky Burns. Brilliant boxer. Of course, so much for him to lose in this fight. Both men say it's a must-win. Burns has taken this on late notice, of course.
Absolutely, but even though taking this fight on late notice, he is still an overwhelming favourite. He's as much a favourite in this fight as Usyk is over Bellew. He's 1-6 in this one, and Scotty Cardle's at 4-1. You think 4-1's a nicer? Look at him, he's blocking him out. What's going on over here?
Welcome to my opponent on Saturday nights. Yeah, no one shall pass.
What is this, Lord of the Rings, mate?
No, I just let you through, so there you go. There you go. Don't do it again, though, yeah? That's your last chance. So I think I psyched him out there, don't you?
You did.
Yeah, a little bit of shoulder movement.
You know what I mean? Shoulder roll, bit of a shoulder roll. I love it.
But the thing is, the money, if you're going to put money on this fight, you put it on Scotty Cardle.
Absolutely.
We spoke to Eddie Hearn about this, and the interesting thing about this fight, and I agree with Eddie, is how much has Ricky got left? You know, he lost to Crolla Anthony Crolla, who we're going to see in a minute, of course. Ricky Burns, and you'd never have thought that Ricky Burns was going to lose to Crolla. Obviously, Ricky's come up from super featherweight, and he's settled at lightweight now. he gives so much, Ricky. You know, this is a guy, don't just give so much in the ring. It's a guy that worked in a sports store when he was still a world champion.
Yeah, you were saying during the
it's an incredible story in Coatbridge.
Incredible.
He'd been doing it for years and years, and when he became a world champion, he said, why am I going to give up the Saturday morning job? Why do it? Because so many people love him in his hometown. And he was saying, wasn't he, that if he wasn't training down in London with Tony Sims, he'd probably still there.
He'd still be in there.
The three-weight world champion working in a sports store, selling white socks on a Saturday morning.
Listen, you couldn't write it.
You couldn't.
You couldn't write it.
Would you do that?
Listen, it's just like a Coley going back. It's like a Coley going back to McDonald's.
Do you know, it is like Macaulay going to McDonald's. That's a very interesting sponsorship point, that, isn't it? if Eddie Hearn, a Coley McDonald's.
Hey, Macaulay.
In fact, Macaulay. You know, the funny thing is, I saw Lawrence last week in LA, by the way. He's training with Tyson Fury, sparring with Tyson Fury at the moment, having a fantastic time at the Wild Card gym. But Lawrence put out a photograph of himself about 5 years ago.
Yep.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Very pudgy, very pudgy early 20s, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he looked a little bit too happy in that photo. He'd been whacking the max.
A little too happy meal.
A little bit too happy. He'd been whacking down the max. Yeah, anyway. That's enough sponsorship for McDonald's.
That one was a bit wet there, wasn't it?
It was,
all right, guys, I'll let you guys know quickly the odds on the title, the main title fight of this card. Oleksandr Usyk versus Tony Bellew. Usyk, as I said to you before, 1-6. Strong. Tony Bellew at 9-2.
Big odds for Usyk to win, isn't it? Yeah.
Listen, but look, Tony Bellew at 9-2. That's fantastic.
That's a cheeky sport 20, isn't it?
I think that's a little cheeky sport 20.
You cannot write Tony Bellew off.
You know what I mean? You can't. And that's why I can't bet against him.
Let me be really honest at this stage, right? Tony's declared it's his swan song fight. He's 35. We'll come back to that in a minute. But we're going to Diamante for a minute, we're being told, yeah?
The lightweight championship of the world. That is held by Vasily Lomachenko. And right now we're going to go ahead and bring up the number 2 ranked WBA fighter in the world versus the number 4 ranked WBA fighter in the world. Great bout. Introducing first to the stage, he's the former IBO featherweight and lightweight champion of the world. Professional record, 38 wins, 3 defeats, 26 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current WBO Intercontinental Lightweight Champion. He is ranked number 2 in the world by the WBA. Please welcome from Sukadana, Indonesia, Daud Chino Yordan. Daud Yordan. And this bout is sanctioned by the WBA also. The president is Gilberto Mendoza. The supervisor will be Mariana Borisova. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, as an amateur, he boxed for England. He was the ABA champion. As a professional, his record, 33 wins, 6 defeats, 3 draws, 13 wins coming by way of knockout. He's the former British, English, and WBA lightweight champion of the world, fighting out of right here in Manchester. Currently ranked number 4 in the world by the WBA. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony $1 Million Crolla. Anthony Crolla. And now, first to the scales, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning defending WBO Intercontinental Lightweight Champion from Indonesia, Daud Chino Yordan. Daud Yordan. Nine stone, 7 pounds, 9 ounces for Daud Yordan. 979. 9 pounds, 7 stone, 9 stone, 7 pounds, 9 ounces for Yordan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former WBA lightweight champion of the world, Anthony $1 Million Crolla, with his trainer, Joe Gallagher. 9-9, bang on. 9 stone 9 pounds for Anthony Crolla. 9 stone 9. Weighs in right at the lightweight limit. We're going to go ahead and get the trousers on, and we're going to face off the fighters. Chief support for Saturday night, 12 rounds for the WBA lightweight title final eliminator.
He's been more like Victor all week.
Look at the physique.
Yeah, no, it's a great shape. They are
physique
so
of
evenly
Mr.
matched, these two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two great-looking
which
fighters.
pair of abs would you like to have?
I don't know. I can't remember what they look like.
You're staring at them now.
All right, I'd go for the Crolla abs.
Yeah, I like them. I like that little tattoo he's got on the side there.
Yeah. I tell you what, physically, they look fantastically matched. Very, very equal.
Everyone's been standing quite far apart.
Yeah, but I love that. I love that. Absolute respect. This is going to be a 12-round war. It'll be a very close fight. If Crolla goes to 12 rounds, I think he's going to win on split points decision.
On a split points. On a split
Just want to let everyone know that I'm doing BBC Breakfast TV in the morning. I'm on the sofa in the morning talking about the fight.
Absolutely. Hey, Gareth, try and bring me in, mate. That's what I'm looking at.
So, it's main event time. Woo! Main event time.
Absolutely.
They've been quiet all week. The crowds here today love the two boxers, I'm sure. But I wouldn't mind seeing Bellew get right into his face.
Listen,
like this.
Listen, this is Bellew's last moment. This is his last stand. This is his last time. His last chance. His last opportunity.
That's what we want.
Up close,
that's what
personal,
we want.
In the mind, in the brain, in the frame of Mr. Oleksandr Usyk.
Yeah. No, well, I want to see him really try and
You want some bite, don't you?
I do want some bite. I want to see it from Tony. I don't want to... Listen, I always said I want to give you some honesty.
Go on, tell me.
It's Tony's swan song fight. He's had an amazing career. I'm sorry for headbutting you just now.
Oh, no, listen, anytime.
But,
anytime, any place.
But the thing is this.
Anytime, any place.
Tony knows he's up against... Tell him! Tony is up against a great, great fighter. It's a very dangerous fight for him in so many ways, David. And I just hope that he doesn't kind of mentally check out before the 12 rounds are over. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
Like, the career's done, the money's in the bank, the fight's sold, and it can happen. I'm not saying he would think about doing it, but it can happen to fighters.
What would winning... Listen, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I understand. I definitely understand. I definitely see it.
You're a believer, aren't you?
I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I got the faith.
I'm a believer.
I've got the faith. But the reality is, this is what I'm saying. And what you're saying is absolute truth. Absolute truth, without a shadow of a doubt. But what the difference is in this fight is he's got an opportunity to taste greatness that many others in all weight divisions have never tasted.
And do you know what?
Being the undisputed unified champion,
I know.
the owner of all the belts, the holder of every single Dragon Ball, the catcher of every single Pokemon.
No, it's funny, you know, because I interviewed Tony. It's in the Telegraph tomorrow. It might be out now online.
Nice little cheeky plug there.
Yeah, nice little plug. But it was an exclusive interview with Tony in which he's talking about he'll never think himself a legend alongside John Conte, not even the best boxer ever from his own city. He said, even if I knock this guy out in 20 seconds, I don't want to be thought of as the best cruiserweight in history, because that goes to Evander Holyfield. Tony will never, ever blow his own trumpet. And I think the great thing about him is he's very humble, and yet his humility has actually earned him more and more and more fans.
Absolutely.
It's been kind of counterintuitive in a weird way, and we all love him for that. If he goes in there and he believes, I do think he'll get opportunities in this fight. But he's got to take them when there may only be one.
There may only be one. Listen,
but when it comes, he's got to take it.
Listen, I think they got to understand how skilled, how great Oleksandr Usyk is as a fighter. He dances, he makes poetry, he makes beautiful music. He's like a pianist, isn't he? And he gets other opposition fighters to play to his own tune. But then in Tony Bellew, you have the power, you have the determination, you have the heart, you have the drive, you have the focus to finish in ways unimagined. He's done it. He's done it twice before. He's done it twice before against the odds.
He has 3 times.
Yeah, three times against the odds.
Olumba as well.
Absolutely.
But you could say he's done it before even. You could say he's been doing it all his life. Look, he's the son of a bank robber. He's the grandson of a policeman. He's had a very unusual upbringing. He's a very tough man, Tony. He's a very honest man. And he told me also this week that boxers are very good liars, you know? That boxers are able to lie about how they believe in themselves. He said, I'm not lying, Oleksandr Usyk's not lying. I believe in myself. I believe I can take opportunities. He believes in his boxing ability, and that's one of the great things about Usyk. We're going to see them on stage now. The buff is here. It's that moment, David.
It is that time.
Eddie Hearn's wearing pumps.
Woo! You know what I mean? He is. Yeah, he's let go of the old red jumper today as well.
He's got that half Italian look at the moment.
He does. He's looking good.
He's looking slick.
Does Eddie ever get nervous? Do you think Eddie ever gets nervous?
Eddie doesn't know what nerves are.
What do you mean? Come on. No. Listen. Can Eddie lose in this fight in any way?
Oh, I see what you mean. No, not really, because Tony Bellew's having the biggest fight he will ever have that he would never have imagined. Eddie's got a deal with Oleksandr Usyk and his team for 3 fights. So if Usyk wins his next fight at heavyweight, Eddie's telling me that he could potentially fight Anthony Joshua at heavyweight if he looks good enough. No, it's a win-win-win.
It's a win-win. It's a triple win. It's a triple win.
But
for
you know what?
boxing.
He would rather Tony Bellew win, and then Usyk win and go on and fight Joshua.
Absolutely,
because they are mates, him and Tony Bellew.
Without a shadow of a doubt,
it's been the crowning part of Bellew's career under Eddie Hearn.
Without a shadow of a doubt. You know what I think about this fight? I think this fight everybody wins. The fans win because they get to see an incredible, exciting fight, an unprecedented fight, a history-making fight. On top of that, you know what I mean? The promoters win. We all win. It's a beautiful fight, and on top of that, you guys at home can win as well because I've got the odds. But after the odds, before the odds, we're going to Michael Buffer.
Main event to be held at Manchester Arena. And it's all brought to you by Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing. The main event presented in association with K2 Promotions. 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Is presented live on Sky Sports Box Office and live on DAZN. Sponsored by William Hill, StubHub, and JD Sports. At this time, let's bring up challenger and champion to the stage for the official weigh-in. First up to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, his professional record an outstanding one in 32 bouts, 30 victories, including 20 big wins by knockout, only 2 defeats with 1 draw. And over the last 5 years, his record stands at a perfect 10 fights, 10 victories, 8 wins by knockout. He's never lost as a cruiserweight. Ladies and gentlemen, from Liverpool, the cruiserweight fighting pride of the entire United Kingdom, the former WBC cruiserweight champion of the world, Tony Bellew.
Face covered up, bellied up, just like yesterday.
And now let's
ready.
And how popular he is.
You can hear it.
So there's a great popularity. He's become a British boxing folk hero. He's done it by grit, determination, blood, sweat, and tears.
Absolutely. Listen, he said to us yesterday, you might be amazed by his physique as he steps onto the scale today.
No, I think he looks in fantastic shape, David. I think he looks so well as a 200-pound fighter. I've never seen Tony in better shape, frankly. And also, because he's been walking around at 220 pounds at heavyweight, he just looks fantastic. And here's the man who I want to call, you were describing him earlier, we had to cut off. Usyk is a machine.
Hey, look at him, look at him.
He's a machine, yeah? And he's very relaxed.
I can't lie to you, they both came out in that. Yesterday Tony Bellew was commenting and complimenting Usyk's trainers. He's back out there in the Louis V's again. Tony Bellew, though, on the other hand, has come out in the fresh, crisp Adidas Yeezys. The Yeezys. He got the new Yeezys that only came out today. He might have been queuing at Foot Locker this morning.
Probably was, you know. He was. He'd have been in the queue with everyone else.
Tony Bomber Bellew. He hasn't had to make weight for a very long time, hasn't he?
But he looks fantastic. Look, you do not see Bellew in better shape than that. He's not. Look, he's never going to have, as he told, he's never going to have the body of a David Haye, but he does look fantastic. Hard as nails, mate. He's a very big, strong, naturally powerful man who's going to deliver. Go on, Tony!
14 pounds.
Go on!
14 stone, 3 stone.
There you go.
14 stone, 3 stone.
Couldn't stop myself. He looks great. There was an ab there.
There was an ab. There was an ab there, yeah. An ab was present.
No, they're all hidden underneath the small layer of flab that he has around his belly. As he said,
it's part of him. It's part of his character.
As he said, it'll be straight in the kebabs on Sunday.
Hey, look, we're just being shown a picture right here. You can see quite a few abs in there.
No, I can. This is some scientific forensic evidence that there were abs there.
As the Ukrainians just go absolutely crazy.
Are they shouting "Who's he? Who's he"?
No, they're shouting Usyk, Usyk.
I thought they were shouting "Who's he? Who's he?" Oh, it's Usyk, Usyk, not who's he? Who's he? Okay. No, I knew. But listen, he's a brilliant champion. 4 belts, the Ring Magazine belt. Yo, he's got abs, all right. He's got abs to burn. This is a terrific moment with these two going head to head now.
I guess the question is, how close do you think they're going to come?
Really as close as possible. Bellew's getting his mask ready.
Woo.
Yeah. He's probably going to smell it, tell him he's a smelly Ukrainian or something here. You know? Ooze you sick.
Ooze you sick.
It's a bit of a difficult one to say, of course.
But
look, I want a little bit of aggro here.
Yeah, you want
aggro.
It. You want some bite.
Some aggro.
You want some bite, don't you?
We want some
absolutely
aggro.
Want some action. Some bite.
Yeah. We're excited.
Look, I told you, listen.
Here we go.
In the
Oh!
He's got a Man City scarf.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, yeah,
here we go. This is what we want. It's a beautiful moment. A beautiful moment, this, David.
Manchester Arena tomorrow night for the undisputed Cruiserweight Championship of the world. Next to known as Manchester, 2 great fighters, a great fight, a great card tomorrow night. Manchester.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. It doesn't get more respectful than that. And you know what? Bellew, and you know what? I love Bellew even more now. That you know.
What was it? What is it that pushed it for you?
Yeah!
Come on! There you go!
There you go.
Yes!
There you go.
Come on!
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. That's what we wanted. That's what we want. I'm glad we've seen that. Because I was
worried.
I was because I thought there was too much respect.
Yeah.
Too much respect. You can't respect him too much. You can't respect him too much.
Look, Usyk's out.
That was an amazing weigh-in because we got to see the personalities of the two men properly, and we also got to see if you want to come through, you duck. Yeah. Otherwise, you get a knee.
You get a knee. Down low, you got to go down low.
And the thing is this, what we got to see then was utter respect between the... Let Michelle Joy Phelps through, please. No, Lady of Honor, come on. Through you come. Through you come. Come on, through you come. Right, no more. Right, that's it. No more people in. No, sorry. No more people allowed. Sorry. Here we go.
I'm ready for war. I told him.
Well, guys, just to wrap up and let you guys know what the odds are of this once again. It's 1-6. Usyk as an overwhelming favourite. You've got Tony Bellew in at 9-2. You won't find better prices on round-by-round betting than you will with William Hill on this.
Listen, I got to say this. We've seen an amazing weigh-in. Utter respect from both men. I love the way they greeted each other then. It could have gone... You know, Bellew, there you go. Bellew sees no fear. Usyk has no fear. They both had their moment in the limelight. Dynamite afterwards. We are on for a terrific, not just the main event, it's going to be a great card tomorrow night. Can Tony Bellew make history? Can Tony Bellew go down as one of the greatest British boxers ever, and with one of the greatest victories against one of the greatest boxers we've ever seen on these shores?
I believe so. I believe so. But
he can do it.
He can do it without a shadow of a doubt. Tony Bellew says he's fighting for his family, he's fighting for his pride, and he finally tells us yesterday that it's going to be tough for Usyk because Usyk has never
lost.
Absolutely.
And that's interesting. And we're going to hear from him?
Absolutely. Guys, it's been a fantastic fight week. Make sure you guys stay tuned, locked in with the fight, get involved in all of the markets.
We'll be around tomorrow as well. Listen, stay connected to William Hill Social. Bellew's an absolutely amazing bet. The shortest odds on Bellew's at 50-1 between rounds 6 to 9, which I think is an absolute steal. Guys, Bellew gives us his final words yesterday. Here they are.
It's hard for someone like him to envision or feel what I bring because he's never felt it before, and it's hard for him to understand. When I said it to David Hay, or when I've said it to Lunga McCall, them guys have known defeat. They've felt the power. They've been on the floor. This guy can't envision what I'm saying because he's never felt it. When he feels it for the first time, he will understand. And you know what it's going to do? It's going to make him a better fighter, because then when it happened to me when I first got put on the floor in my career, genuinely for the first time, it made me go home that night and think, wow, I am vulnerable. I can be hurt. And it made me a better fighter. It made me more aware.
You don't know when the adrenaline's coursing through you because you're fearless. You feel invincible before it's happened, don't you?
That's how he feels.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the problem that Morakasiev had. So he thinks he's invincible. He thinks nothing can beat him. Unbeaten fighters have this.
He thinks it's a ballet, doesn't he?
Yes.
Almost like a ballet.
And you're playing to his tune that you're going to be playing.
Of course.
And you're going to make it a herd of buffaloes going through him, basically. If I can put it that way. It's not going to be no swan ballet.
This ain't no ballet. This ain't no opera. This is hard gangster rap.
Yeah, exactly.
With a NWA beat, and Easy's coming in the background. And Ice Cube throwing bombs. And Dr. Dre's screaming at the top of his voice. That's what so he is
elbows, cuts, everything.
He is opera, and I am
hardcore hip hop rock.
Mate, I'm coming in on an angle that no one's seen.
But if you do draw him into that, it suits you because he's never. Do you think we've always seen him as an on-top fighter in many ways?
No, because in the Marius Breidis fight after 6 rounds, he was losing. And he found a way to come back. But the reason that he found that way to come back was because Marius Breidis tired, and Marius Breidis didn't have the experience to carry him over the line. There is fights that will let you know that he mentally does switch off himself. The Michael Hunter fight, the Marius Breidis fight, he was exceptional in Morakasiev fight because he overestimates him. He underestimates the previous two, in my opinion, and that lets you know he has a mental makeup problem. Something his compatriot Vasyl Lomachenko does not have. He rates every fighter as world-class, elite-level fighters. I hope he ranks me as an elite-level fighter because I don't want to hear no excuses after Saturday night that I underestimated Tony Bellew.
Tony, officially, he said he thinks you're his toughest opponent.
Wow, that's humbling.
You were up there with him when he said it. You are his most dangerous opponent, he said.
Well, I'm very grateful and thankful, but he's going to have to survive his greatest test on Saturday night because I know what's in front of me, Gareth, and I am vulnerable enough. I've been down enough in my career. I know I can be hurt. I know I can lose. I know I can win. This guy only knows winning. He only knows his way. On Saturday night, I'm going to teach him another way. He has to learn my way now. He is in my house. He is coming and playing to my rules. Saturday night, mate, we get one king, one face, one name in the division, and that is Fatboy Bellew.
I love it. Now, title sponsors William Hill took me and Mr. Gareth out to eat yesterday. I know you've been working on cutting weight. And
choose your words carefully now, brother. Because I don't want to know what I don't want to know what you ate. I'm not starving. I had scrambled eggs and salmon this morning.
Wow.
And I'm eating well. But I know you're going to bring us some kind of fast food. I know the look in your eye.
Listen, when I ordered this burger, she said,
"Oh, do you know what? I ain't had a burger for 3 months, and this I'm not even. I'm going to be live on the telly. I can't swear.
The waiter said to me, "You're gonna have to elbow drop it to fit it in your mouth." This is the size. This is it.
I'm not looking, man. What are you doing to me? I don't want to look at it, but you turn it off. I don't want to see it. I haven't had a burger for 3 months, man. I ain't even had a roast dinner in 3 months.
It was
Seriously?
that big.
I haven't had a piece of bread in 3 months.
Wow.
Is that what you're looking forward to after retiring? Just soaking your teeth into something.
I'm not gonna lie. I've gone past the point of care. I'm not gonna lie. I like sweets. I like Haribo. I love milkshakes. I adore Chinese food. I love a roast dinner. I love a bagel in the morning. I ain't had nothing for 3 months, so I'm sick of scrambled eggs and salmon, protein shakes. I'm nearly there, so I'm not. It's not the food. You know what I'm looking forward to? Just 12 months out of the media, 12 months away from the spotlight, 12 months of becoming a normal dad. A dad who is at every assembly, a dad who is at every football practice, a dad who is at every event that happens with the kids, a dad who can take the kids out trick or treating every year without fear. I'm not training, I'm not in camp, I'm not sparring, I'm not getting punched in the face, I don't have to turn up to play. I just look forward to being that man who can be normal again.
Love that humility about you. We were talking about that earlier, but your humility is something that has endeared you to British folk, and the trouble is, you make yourself a hero by the way you be. I mean, even though you don't want to be. No, I know that, but it's ironic.
I don't want to be what I don't want to be.
But when you and I spoke last week, and I was saying, you said, "Listen, I'm never going to be John Conte. I'm never going to be Mandy Holyfield." But I said, "Do you remember though? You did win the world title with beloved Everton. You beat David Hay twice at heavyweight in 2 massive fights in Britain. Oh, by the way, you were in a Hollywood movie as well. That's part of the Rocky franchise.
No, but
and it's almost like you wake up in the morning and you've forgotten all that."
No, I do.
Do you know what I mean?
I've never sat down and what's the word I'm looking for? I've never sat down and gone back over it. I've never took it in. So I've never. Only the morning after Goodison Park did I sit down in my kitchen
with relief
and look at the belt and think she actually slept. I was awake all night. I just sat in the kitchen and I was like, and she come downstairs and I said, "We've done it, you know. We've really done it." So I've never looked back. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I've never took note of my career and what I've done. So maybe that'll happen after Saturday. But for now, right now, I'm in the zone. I'm in the place, and I've got great fighters, great champions around me.
You did it to him yesterday. He's just getting you back for you doing it yesterday.
He's getting me back. I don't want no trouble.
He's gone. You did it to him yesterday.
Yes, I did. But he's got better trainers than me on today, so he's got me. We'll see.
Tone, you are a British sporting hero. It's one of those great moments in British boxing. It's historic. You know, we just hope you can do it on Saturday night.
Fingers crossed. Thank you very much, boys.
Thanks a lot. I believe in it.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Take care. Have a good one.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Thank you as always.